Happy October. I just got off a coaching call and there was an interesting question posed to me, and it just spawned an entire YouTube video. Um, the question is, what does it mean to let go of control? And I was like, that's a really good question. That's a really interesting question. And then I got thinking about the difference between life lived in flow and life lived in control. And I wanted to talk about that because I think it's two ways that I've lived my life. When I was limbic, I lived entirely based on control, and now I live entirely based on flow. And they're very different. And flow works a whole lot better than control. So I just wanted to talk about this and put it out there because one of the things I do in these videos is talk about things other people don't talk about. And I am curious. I am genuinely curious. If you are watching this, tell me, what is your experience with flow versus control? And do you find that flow works better to actually accomplish the outcomes you desire in your life? Now, to answer the question of what does it mean to let go of control, I will be as succinct as I can with this. But it all came down to trust. Because I used to just control everything. Because I didn't trust myself and I didn't trust good things, and I felt like I had to force and control and coerce myself and my life and my family members and my work into something that was good enough, or to get things done and accomplish a task so that I could be a worthy human being who got stuff done. That's how I used to live my life. It didn't work. And in the process of rewiring my brain, I've come to a way of being where I've learned to trust myself, to trust joy, to trust calm, to trust those natural positive emotions that are, our natural state as human beings. And I realized that all of life is based on trust. Truly, all of life is based on trust. And as I started trusting my emotions, my those true emotions, the ones that make up who we are, love, joy, peace, calm, I found my highest self, because our true selves are there in that they are associated with those neuronal pathways of joy, love, and peace. That is who we are as human beings. We are all of our greatness and all of our humanity, truly all of our greatness really is associated with those emotions, or passion, love, etc. And as I've learned to surrender to those emotions and let them be everything, my natural desires started surfacing. And so I live life based on, I don't plan out my days anymore, but I find that I have very productive days. I don't even notice they're productive though, because I'm not focused on what I'm doing as much as I'm focused on staying in flow and doing the next thing. And I find that I accomplish a lot more by focusing on staying in a positive emotional state and letting the natural desires that then surface guide me toward my next activity. Whereas in the past, I was always planning out my day, planning out my week, planning out the meal plan everything so that I could look at the clock and control and contain every activity into its allotted time slot, and then give myself a gold star or check mark for you did it, you are good enough because you did the thing. And that's how I used to live. And it was so different. I don't do that anymore. I just, because I'm in a positive emotional state all day, every day, I allow my desires will come, and I want to make dinner when it gets to that time. Or if I notice, I scroll through my emails and it's like, Amazon sent us the wrong thing and I got to do this return, and now I got to get this thing done for kids' school. I'm like, okay, I want to get that done before I do the next thing. And so I do it. And then I'm like, yeah, okay, next thing. Yeah, this is fun. And it's such a different way of living. It's so wildly different. But it all comes down to trusting yourself. This really kind of goes back to the video I made about what does it mean to trust yourself. And this is a slightly different aspect of it, but nonetheless, it's everything, because I don't believe we can be happy in a control state. Not really, not deeply happy. We need to be in flow a lot of the time in order to be happy. And I find again that I'm so much more productive when I'm in flow, because I'm focused more on enjoying the experience and allowing that natural desire I have to do my life, really, to do the next thing. You know, when you have those positive emotions, then you want to work and you want to be with your kids, or you want to be productive. You want to do the next thing. That's who we are as humans. And this is why, I mean, the magic of DNRS is it shows that people who are not motivated, people who procrastinate, who are depressed or anxious and can't focus on what they're doing, it has nothing to do with them. Their brain is stuck in a rut. That human's brain is stuck in this looping rut, and it keeps them from their natural state. And when we're in our natural state of calm and joy, all we want is to do the next thing. It's like little kids, you know, you can't have enough material for a child to keep them busy. You know, that you give them, my kids, I'll give them like a paint with water, and they'll paint with water the whole book. It'll be like, you know, probably 20 or 30 pages. They'll paint all of it in like an hour or 45 minutes, and I've just been like changing out waters and ripping out pages as fast as they can color, and then when they finish that, they want more. That's natural brain. That's a normal, healthy state of mind. And that's one of the things that DNRS does, is it gets you back into your natural state as a human being. And when you're in your natural state as a human being, you want to work. You want to do things, and it's easy, and it's enjoyable, and it's rewarding in and of itself to be doing those things. The other area that I've noticed that this plays out in is the way I care for my body. Because in the past, it was the same thing. I would portion out my food, and I would measure my exercise, and I would count my calories. And I would try to force my body into this mold because I didn't trust it. I didn't trust that my body could be healthy and fit by itself. But you look at kids, and again, children who live in a generally healthy environment, they usually aren't overweight. If they're given healthy food and an opportunity to move, they're usually healthy. And that's the way all human beings are. And so I've taken this radical leap of faith. It's not really radical. In our culture, it looks radical. To trust my body and be like, hey, I believe my body knows how to be healthy. And I'm done trying to control the exact size and shape of my body. I'm going to live in alignment with what I desire and with I want to feel good. I know what it takes to do that. And I'm going to trust my body's innate wisdom as to what I should eat each day, how much, what kind of food, how much should I move, in what ways should I move, and then see what results, kind of leave it open-ended. I mean, and that's, again, it's a similar mindset to even the work, because a lot of times I don't set out to accomplish a certain amount of things. I don't set out to accomplish anything, really. I stay in the moment and I let my desire guide me towards something I want to do, and then I go do it. And I tend to do it quickly and well because I'm happy and I'm engaged while I'm doing it. It's very different. It's not outcome oriented, yet it results in better outcomes, ironically. But it's the same thing with my body, and I've left it in the air and stopped trying to control it and been like, okay, I'm going to see what happens. I'm going to give it time and see what kind of body I end up with. It's like a big grand experiment, except that I never really plan on going back to trying to force it into some sort of mold, because I really do trust myself, and I really do trust my appetite and my body and its desire for movement. And ultimately, I mean, what's happened in the short term, I've been really working this pretty intensely with my, in terms of my body for about a month now, and I find that I'm eating generally really clean, like protein, fruit, vegetables, nuts. That's pretty much it. That's what I've wanted to eat. I've been walking. I stopped counting how much mileage, because right now I'm still rehabilitating my core muscles, and I can't do anything weight-based. I can't lift weights or do yoga or any other kind of workout program. So I walk and I hike a lot because that's all I can do right now. And I work on my alignment so that my muscles will come back together. But I've been walking on average probably about 6 to 7 miles a day, at least every day for the last month. And that's just based on my body's desire for movement. And I've been giving it, the stretches and the strengthening exercises that it wants in order to feel more aligned and stronger. And I honestly feel stronger than I have in such a long time. I feel amazing. My body, just my joints, my muscles, my metabolism, I feel incredible. My sleep has improved. My digestion's improved. Like, it's just been amazing to see all the things that have gotten better as I just decided to trust my body and flow with what it wanted. and not keep track of anything really. Like everything I'm reporting is just because, as humans, we kind of notice what we're doing, not really keeping track of it, but it's just kind of noticing patterns. And yeah, I really absolutely adore living in flow. And one thing I'm curious though too is, I mean, because I've done this from a DNRS standpoint of focusing simply on elevating my mood, doing my rounds, and letting my desires come to surface and following them, I'm curious for other people who don't do DNRS, what does that look like to you? What does living in flow look like to you? I really am curious because I have no other background other than my journey here, which has been very pointed and very fast and very direct. So I'm curious how all this plays out in other people's lives. If you recognize what I'm talking about, these two different roads of control versus flow, and what does that feel like? What does it look like? What are your experiences with that? I'm really genuinely curious if anyone wants to share. That's all. That's my thoughts for today. Much love to everyone.